This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic. This is part 10 of graphing cosine functions, and on this video we're going to graph y equals the cosine of 3x. Okay, what we notice here is there is a coefficient in front of x, and that affects the period of the graph just like it did in the sine function. So I'm assuming everybody has already watched my videos on the sine function. So what do we do with this to figure out the new period? We see that the coefficient is 3. We usually call that b. So if we call that b, then to get the new period, what you do is you take the period of cosine, which is 2 pi, and divide by b. Now, if it's just a whole number, it's easier to do it like that, 2 pi over 3. But some people write it as 1 over b times 2 pi. So you could also say that's the same as 1 over b, or the reciprocal of b times 2 pi. But of course, if you simplify that, you get the same thing. So the period of this graph is 2 pi over 3. And we know that to get the key points, wherever we start, we're going to add a fourth of the period to get the next one, and the fourth of the period again. So let's figure out what a fourth of the period is. 1/4 of 2 pi over 3. Let's see, we could reduce here, is pi over 6. So we're going to have to add pi over 6 from our first key x-coordinate to get the next key x-coordinate, etc. Now, before writing down our x-coordinates here, let's see what else we know. What is going to be the domain? It's always the same for cosine and sine, negative infinity to infinity, because there are absolutely no restrictions. Now, what about the amplitude? That would be the coefficient in front of the cosine, which is 1. So basically the amplitude's 1, right? Absolute value of 1. So what about any vertical shift or phase shift? There's nothing added or subtracted in the parentheses, so there's no vertical shift or phase shift. No vertical shift or phase shift. So this helps. Now, if there's no vertical shift or phase shift, especially the vertical one, remember our usual little chart here for x and cosine of x. Remember how this goes: 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and the numbers go 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 1. So our x-coordinates will just start at the same place, at 0, since there's no phase shift. So we're going to start it at 0, but the trick is, remember, we're going to add 1/4 the period to get the next x-coordinate. All right, so the first one is going to be just the same. It's going to start in the same spot, but I want to add pi over 6 to get the next one. All right, so 0 plus pi over 6, that'll give us a pi over 6. We just keep doing it. Add pi over 6 again, that'll give us a 2 pi over 6. Add pi over 6 again, that'll give us 3 pi over 6. One more time. 4 pi over 6. And notice that 4 pi over 6 is the same as 2 pi over 3. So these are our 5 key x-coordinates. That does give us one full period from 0 to 4 pi over 6. Now, I design these so that when you put these values in for x, we'll get the same y coordinates over here, right? You don't have to multiply it by anything. We don't have to add anything to the end. So our y values are right here: 1, 0, negative 1, 0, and negative 1. So we are ready to graph just about. So we've got the period, the domain, the amplitude, no vertical or phase shift, but oh, how about the range? You can see the range is going to go in between negative, I made a little mistake here. That's a positive 1. The range goes in between -1 and 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that down. The range is in between -1 and 1. And I think we have everything. We're ready to graph. All right, so I notice on the x-coordinates I'm going from 0 to 4 pi over 6. The denominator is 6, so I want to have 6 marks until I get to pi. And the y goes in between -1 and 1. So I'm going to go mainly to the right on the x-axis showing. So we'll put the y-axis over here. We know it goes between -1 and 1. And let's see, we need 6 marks till we get to pi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's where pi is. And let's see, we've got then 0, 1 starts up as usual. But pi over 6, 0, so we're down here. 1 pi over 6 at 2 pi over 6 is down at -1. 3 pi over 6 at 0. And 4 pi over 6 at 1. And notice that's the same thing as 2 pi over 3. Right? There's one complete cycle. Now we can keep going if you want. Get 2 cycles. We can go over here. I like to do that. And then I just make a nice little sketch. So this is going to be more than one cycle. And then we have all of our other information. All right, we had the period of 2 pi over 3, domain -infinity to infinity, the range -1 to 1, amplitude 1. There is no phase shift, there is no vertical shift, and so there's our final answer for y equals cosine of 3x. This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic.